10 seconds of no moving. I wondered how long I could just sit there for without moving before somebody would be like, the fuck is he doing? I'm sure 10 seconds in, people are probably already like, the fuck is he doing? But what's going on, guys? My name's Matt Freeman, and I like to talk a lot. Today is Sunday, and today is the day that we don't live stream, and here I am. But I didn't live stream yesterday, so today is make up for yesterday. Don't remember why I didn't live stream yesterday. A little bit fuzzy in my brain. I think I was editing at the time that I should have, like when I should have started my live stream, I was editing, so that's why I inevitably just started instead, just continued to edit instead of live streaming, which I know it's not, I have obligations to live stream every night, except for Sundays from 10 to 12, and that's my fault. And I apologize for not showing up last night. But, hello, Holly. How are you on this Sunday Funday night? Got something in my eyeball. My days have been so mixed up. I literally went all day yesterday thinking yesterday was Sunday. It's like I had preemptively told myself in my head that I didn't have to live stream last night because I was like, oh, I don't do it on Sundays, and today's Sunday, so I won't have to live stream. And then toward the end of the night, I was reminded, or at least told, that it was Saturday, and I was like, oh shit, I went the whole day literally thinking it was Sunday. And then I was editing videos, trying to edit, because this editing software I have for some reasons like totally fucked up, and I have no idea why. And I paid for it, so now I have to try to figure out what's wrong with it, because I don't have any other software that edits videos besides like something that's free, and free stuff is never easy. When you pay for something, it's like set up and it's like, hey, this is how you do it, and these are other things you can do and stuff like that. But when it's free, if you ever try to do something, it's like, oh, you have to pay if you want to use that, and it's just it ruins it. It's like, what's the point? But so then I was in the middle of trying to fix my editing software last night when 10 o'clock came around. So I told myself I'd try for a little bit longer and see how I could do, if I could get figured out or not, and then I'd see about streaming afterwards. And by the next time I looked at the clock, it was 11:22, and I was like, yeah, probably not going to be able to live stream tonight. So I skipped last night, but then I decided game total, it's 30 teams of 3. And unfortunately, since I don't really particularly know anybody who plays the game, I'm stuck with playing with random people all the time. And so like my Xbox account, they used to have it set up so you could only have a limited amount of friends, but now you can have like unlimited amount of friends. And I only realistically have a friends list that maybe consists of 30 people in which I actually know who play Xbox. Never play with them, but of course they're just people I know who play Xbox. But if you look at people who are friends with me, I have like a little over 300 people who are friends with me that I'm not friends with them. And the whole reason is because of this is every time I play with a random group of people, I'm usually the one that carries my team. And so at the end of Apex Legends, they always make me, like they add me as a friend, because like it's weird how it's set up. Like somebody can add you to their friends list, but you don't have to add them to yours, if that makes sense. So I've got a whole bunch of random ass people who constantly, every time I get on this game, they're sending me friend or game invites, because they're like, oh, this is that badass dude who kicked ass that one time I played with him, and so I want to play with them. But I never play with them, not to, like I'm trying to be mean, but I don't know who they are. I'm not really trying to be partnered up with people I don't know. But then on top of that, whenever I play, I'm playing with random people anyway. So I looked at the time, it was 9:22. So I knew that obviously in like 40 minutes I had to do this live stream. So I decided to run inside my house and warm up real quick, because obviously Ohio is rainy and cold right now again. And so because it was cold, and obviously I wanted to warm up a little bit. My toes are freezing, my fingers are freezing. And I was like, dude, I need to go inside and warm up. tried to play this one game for some reason. I couldn't. The game wasn't loading, and I was confused. So I switched over to Apex Legends, which I haven't actually played for each season. So they're on their 4th season, right? Each season is 185 days long, and I've been a part of all 4 seasons. The game was out before they started the seasons, but I play in the ranked league, which means that I play with other people who are ranked, and there's like the non-ranked. It's like Call of Duty, where there's like the normal Call of Duty, you just get on, you just kill people, you just have fun, you do what you gotta do. But then you have the ranked league, who's only full of the people who are actually really fucking good at the game, and so I always play in the ranked league because like I naturally in my head from day one was like, well, why play with random scrubs and be good when I can play against really good people? And if I can get good, then you're like really good at the game because you're playing against people who are ranked to be good at the game. So I always play in ranked. And so I knew that typically, even if you have a game which you make it to the end of the game, it takes about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm like, perfect. Here I've got about 30 minutes from when I started the game. I was like, I got enough time to play exactly one game, and we'll see how we go. This is my first game playing in Season 4. There's only 15 days left, so I missed 170 days of Season 4, which is kind of sad to think that's been that long since I played Apex Legends. Because I really do love the game, but I've been, playing video games with my friends, and they don't have Apex Legends, so we haven't been playing it. And, and I just naturally, if I'm by myself, I'm playing something else or something. I just haven't really thought of playing Apex Legends. So I'm like, screw it. We'll jump on. I'll play a game, maybe 2, because, knowing me, I'll get a team of shitty people and we'll only make it about halfway. So that'll give me time to play another half game before I'd have to come out here and live stream. And, when you win the game, they call you Apex Legend or Apex Champions, which, I mean, realistically, it's not that crazy of a title because like I've gotten the title of Apex Champion like probably 50 to 70 times, somewhere between there. I don't know the exact number, but I've won quite a lot. And in which case that means that you and your team of 3 have killed every other team. And now you are the number 1 team because, like I said, there's 90 people start the game, and there's every crew 3 people. So realistically, there's 30 teams of 3 that you have to fight against. Now, it's not to say that by the time the game ended that me and my team actually killed all the other people, because obviously there are other people they fight and they kill each other off. But like we landed into a very hot, what they call a hot zone, which is just a very high tiered loot area, and which a lot of people land in. We landed. I separated from my group because I hate it when they drop into these like important places, because you're guaranteed that as soon as you hit the ground, you're going to start fighting people because there's going to be a bunch of people there. So I kind of separated from my team. I got a bunch of guns, stocked up, was good to go. My team started getting into a battle. On my way to running to my team, one of my teammates died. Now, there are revive stations, but there's a limited amount of them, meaning like once a revive station is used, it cannot be used by any other people. So my teammate had died, and I was right next to a revive station, so I revived him. Then my other teammate died before I'd gotten over to where they were. I ran in the room. I killed the 3 people that made up the team that my team was fighting against initially. I grabbed my second teammate's banner because like he was dead, so I had to revive him. But then he ended up quitting, so then it was just me and one other dude. And another team rushes in because they obviously, I'm sure they heard the gunfight and they knew that more than likely there's probably a weak team in there, which was just me and this other guy. I ended up going down. I wasn't killed, but I was downed. I marked the guys. My teammate came in, wiped out the rest of those guys, revived me. And then we started moving amongst the map, moving like, because it's like any other battle royale game where the game starts with a massive map, and every minute and 30 seconds, the map shrinks and it shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So that way it forces everybody into a small area. that way, you know, the game doesn't last forever because there's only 2 teams left, but you're on this side of the map and they're on this side of the map. Like, it condenses it down so it's a real small circle. So you'll inevitably get pushed into each other. And if you don't get pushed into the circle like you're supposed to, the walls kill you for spending too much time out in the open. And so me and this random dude, we just went through and we marked everybody. Every team we bounced up against, they had 3. We only had 2. We wiped everybody out, made our way to the point where it was only me and him and 2 other teams. I was actually kind of getting a little bit excited, like, wow, this is crazy. It's my first game in 170 days, and I'm already in the top 3. Then we didn't see anybody for a really long time. And then when it was down to the second to last push, like the circle push, my teammate and I could hear gunfire in the distance, which, like I said, if there's only 2 other teams besides our team and you hear gunfire in the distance, that obviously means both teams are fighting against each other. Eventually, one team will kill the other team, which did happen. And in which case, that team that won that battle is already weak. Now they have the ability to heal, and they have like items to heal themselves up. But like, you know, to the point where we were too far away. So by the time we had gotten over there, this other team had already like re-healed and were up to their maximum like health levels and stuff like that. And we got in there. My teammate, like a fucking dumbass, just ran right into everybody, ends up getting killed instantly. Now it's me versus 3 dudes who are all at perfect health, and I wiped them out, becoming the Apex champion. Of course, then this random person sent me a friend request, and I had to message him saying, I'm sorry, I only had time for literally 1 game because now I have to go live stream on YouTube. And so that's why I titled the name of this video, I am the Apex champion, because literally I just was the Apex champion literally less than 10 minutes ago. So that's that. Now, on top of that, Diego, hello. Nice to see you. Glad you like the videos, and I'm glad you enjoy when I remove my teeth. But we are not doing that here because it's really annoying to have to take my teeth out. Maybe another day I'll do another toothless live stream, but it's not a thing that's going to be a more regular thing. Toothless Tuesdays was one thing when I was still fresh of getting my teeth out, and I was like, you know, adjusting to having to learn how to relearn how to talk with no teeth and stuff like that. But once your mouth adapts to having dentures in there all the time, it actually bothers me to take them out. Especially talking, it feels weird. I get pain in my mouth, and then when I put my dentures back in, it causes actually more problems than if I just leave them in. So I really don't remove my teeth very much anymore. But I appreciate the love. Appreciate you watching the videos, and obviously appreciate you showing up for this live stream, whether you're staying for the longevity of it or you're just staying for the inevitable point just to tell me that you love my videos and stuff like that. Whatever, that's fine. I appreciate you. Now, I am standing over top of this heater right now because it is cold outside, but man, I am sweating in this Carhartt. And I'm not taking it off because the moment I take this off, I'm going to be freezing cold because it's not that warm outside. But should check my phone just because I did receive a few text messages. Awesome. A buddy of mine's trying to, I mean, don't get me wrong, a buddy of mine does this all the time. He's trying to get me to go into business with him. And he's been texting me all day about starting a new job with him, which, I mean, hey, I'm all for it, but I've explained to him many times, I ain't got the money to invest in anything. So if you know, if we did start up our own thing, I don't got the money to invest in it right now because I don't got the job to do it. And he's also a pipe dreamer, as I like to call it. You know, he likes to He likes to come up with these ideas, these schemes. They're not schemes. I don't want to call them bad, like he's like trying to rip people off, but he comes up with schemes of like how me and him are going to start a company and make a bunch of money together and all this other stuff, which is awesome to have a friend like that. But we never really go on anything. So it's one of those things where it's like, when he brings up these ideas, I sound excited about them, like, yeah, I'm down, man. But I kind of don't really expect them to go anywhere because they never have gone anywhere in the past. So, but hello, Rachel. Nice to see you. You just missed my 14-minute conversation about how I'm an OG video game player and just fucking annihilated people on a video game and came first place out of 90 people. Yeah, your boy slaughtered. Actually, at the end of the game, I only had 17 kills, which, I mean, that sounds still decent. But like I said, there was 90 people at the start of the game. So everybody else fought amongst themselves. And then in the long run, I ended up still getting 17 kills and coming first place out of 90 people. So, gotta flex them muscles every once in a while. Don't got to brush the shoulders off a little bit. Oh, yeah, it was also the first time I'd played the game in 170 days, and I still came in first place out of 90 people. So, cha-ching! I'm the OG Apex champion. Thank you very much. I'll take my trophy whenever anybody wants to present me with a trophy. Don't say hell yeah, brother, because you sound like Cletus, and I know it sounds so strange because I love watching his videos. I despise of Cletus. I really do not like him. Like, even if I ever blew up and I had the ability to meet Cletus, I'd probably be so shitty to him because I just think he is a shitty person. I don't know what it is, but just there's something about Cletus that rubs me in the way that makes me think that Cletus is a pure asshole in real life. Like, he just seems... I don't know what it is about Cletus. He just, like, James, his best friend, James seems like the nicest down-to-earth dude in the world. But every time Cletus opens his mouth, something about him makes me just feel like when he's off camera, he's probably a pussy, he's probably prissy, and he's probably a straight douchebag. He's a fucking douchebag. But thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Like I said, I got to flex them gamer skills I got, because I don't get to flex them very often. But when we do, I get to fly high and dominate the game. Which, I mean, it was hard then to win and be number one and then have to stop and then come out here and live stream just because, like, I had obviously told myself, like, you can only play one game so you can live stream. But after then coming off of a win, it was like, I don't want to stop now. I want to keep playing. So I figured, I just live stream and I'll go in there and play some tonight, when I get done live streaming. Ain't no big thing. I'm going to put the hat back on because I'm so tired of seeing this messy mop of a hair. Hello, Joel. Long time no see, my brother. How have you been? Whew. And on top of that, I'm drinking a Coca-Cola this evening, and they are also an unofficial sponsor, but I'd rather have Mountain Dew sponsor me. So drinking a Coca-Cola on live stream is pretty much hurting my chances of ever having Mountain Dew sponsor me. Can you imagine that? If they sponsored me, I'd get free Mountain Dew, and then I'd have to drink nothing but Mountain Dew, which, don't get me wrong, that would be amazing. But then there'd be no more Coca-Cola. I'm not very picky when it comes to pop. I pretty much like everything. I mean, I'm sure that there's a pop out there that I don't like. I'm not saying that there isn't, but for the most part, Coke, Pepsi, anything like that, it's all the same. It's all soda. It's all water, fizzy, and sugar. That's all it is. Some flavorings in there, obviously, as well. But you know what I'm saying. It's all the same. It's all made the same. So, oh yeah, and Rachel, yes, cherry vanilla Coke is absolutely disgusting, and I'm glad she said that because Rachel does know that I did just recently I saw. Well, she's actually saying it because of me, Holly. I mean, realistically, she also agrees, um, but I saw a cherry Coke in in a refrigerator and maybe it was like a month and a half ago or now or something like that. It'd been a little while now, but when we were hanging out, and I grabbed it because I thought it was a cherry Coke, but it wasn't until we got in the car and I had opened it and took a swig of it that I realized it was cherry vanilla Coke, and it was disgusting. It was pure. I just, it's not for me. Not for me. I agree 100% with Rachel. Love cherry Coke. It's the shit. Probably, actually, to be honest, anything cherry in both leagues. I love cherry Pepsi and I love cherry Coke. But I'd rather have cherry of either one of those over their standard form. So I'd rather have a cherry Coke over a Coke, and I'd rather have a cherry Pepsi over a Pepsi. But for some reason, you add vanilla to that too, and it just ruined it. That was too much. Not to say it was my first time ever having a cherry vanilla Coke before, but for some reason, as an adult, it really showed up in my life as like, no, thank you. Trying to think what I have done with my life. Really, I've done nothing. I'm trying to think of what I did yesterday. Like I said, I was trying to fix my editor last night, but I'm trying to think of what I did yesterday during the day. Oh, wait. Oh, no, yesterday. Diego, I explained this to you already. I am not taking my fucking teeth out. You need to listen better. I am getting angry with you. Yeah, actually, Rachel, the funny thing about my migraine is my migraine disappeared at 1 a.m. Wait, what? Okay, I will finish while I was talking to Rachel. But what live stream are you talking about, Rachel? Um, hey, thank you, Holly. Not to be mean to Diego. I understand that he, for some reason, is obsessed with seeing me with my teeth out of my mouth. But it's like that's not what this is. I would have named this a toothless live stream if that's what this was, and that's not what it is. So it's kind of annoying that you're gonna constantly hound me now about taking my teeth out when I just literally 5 minutes ago explained to you that I'm not going to do that because it actually hurts my mouth when I take my dentures out. So I've now explained it to you twice, Diego. I really appreciate it if you'd stop hounding me about taking my teeth out when I'm not going to take my teeth out. Oh, okay, that's cool. Anyways, back to what I was saying with the migraine, and then I'll jump back to you, Holly. My migraine lasted till 1 a.m. Now I had gone to bed early, but I was one of those things where I knew it was going to happen. The moment I laid in bed, I couldn't fall asleep because my migraine was too bad. I just tossed and turned. At 1 o'clock, the migraine disappeared. Now the problem is with when you have migraines, like really bad migraines, and to the point where like I have medication I have to take to, get migraines to go away, kind of thing. When the migraine leaves, all of your energy comes back at once. So I was up then until 5 a.m. because when the headache went away, it was like I had just woken up from a sleep. All of a sudden I was wide awake and I felt like I just ate a bunch of sugar and I was ready to go crazy, all because my head finally was done hurting. And so instead of my body just sitting there going, I don't want to do anything, I just want to sit here and lay and do absolutely nothing, all that energy comes flaring back to you, and I was wide awake. So it did eventually go away, and I'm thankful that I didn't have to deal with it again for another day, but it's only a matter of time and I'll get another one. Unfortunately, it's I can sometimes go weeks without them, and then there's weeks where I have them for days. I mean, it sucks. It's the worst. But was when you were watching the live stream, now to you, Holly, when you were watching the live stream of the fire, was he there when you were watching it, or did you like watch it after it was already like posted then to YouTube. I'm just wondering. It doesn't really matter either way. I just, like I said, I wasn't sure if if he was there or if because actually the only reason I'm really wondering is because I'd be a little surprised that you never mentioned that Robbie was watching. What did Robbie think? Did he think that I was a cool dude? But yeah. So I did survive the migraines, and oh man, I really want to take this hat off because I'm really hot, so maybe I'll just put this hood up. Well then, good. I'm glad he enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I forgot you finally got to see Robbie. See, I completely slipped my brain to the point that you haven't seen Robbie for a long time. I was still thinking you guys were still seeing each other. That's why I was like, yeah, but that's cool. Well, I'm glad he liked it. I appreciate his face, watching my face, talking to a fire or with a fire to a fire. I was talking to a fire the whole time. And Rachel, my mom never even knew that you were over. I told you. She looked out the window one time, but I'm sure she assumingly thought it was me that she saw. So she never once brought up or said anything about you being over. So no harm, no foul, right? You know. Yesterday, I remember I went and cut down a bunch of trees over at a buddy's house. Actually, the buddy of mine who's constantly trying to get me to start a job or start a company with him had a bunch of trees and stuff he had to cut down, and some fence posts to rip out of the ground. And him and his old man did it for a while, and then his little brother showed up, and then the three of us did some Narbuckle. Actually, I could show you this video. You guys will probably find it quite entertaining. Rachel will know who this is, the moment she sees the video. But the guy in the video is actually the guy who tattooed me, and he's something else, man. He's one of those people that he can bring life to any sad situation. Not to say that it was a sad situation or anything, but I'm just meaning he's just one of those people that he's a good guy. He's really freaking funny. And this is the that I turned the volume down. Think how famous you'll be. I'll post this all over Facebook. They'll be like, not only does he do amazing tattoos, but he can rip trees out of the ground. No, you're not gonna get that. I try to amp you up, but I'm just surprised that tree is moving that much. Holy shit. I'm sure that those roots go completely under the barn. Oh, yeah. I am recording you. Holy shit. You're about to pull that whole fucking root ball up. Yeah. That was his name's Jake, and that was Jake attempting to pull. He had all the branches you see that was missing from the tree that he was trying to pull over. All those branches he broke off using a dumbbell, like a weight. He just smashed the branches until they broke, and then he was physically trying to rip the tree out of the ground with his bare hands. And I'll be honest, he got damn fucking close to actually doing it, a lot closer than I really thought he could have gotten. But yeah, no, it was hilarious to watch. I kept obviously I was talking to him prior to recording the video. That's why I was saying that I was amping him up, trying to be like, dude, you're so close. You almost got that thing. And just kept amping him up to make him keep doing it. And then I started recording him, and he's like, I'm not gonna be able to get this. And I was like, no, you're not You're not going to be able to pull a completely alive tree out of the ground. Like, he's strong as fuck, but he ain't that strong. I can guarantee that. But yeah, so we spent most of my day using a chainsaw. Well, actually, I used an axe for half the day because we couldn't find the chainsaw, and then we found where his dad had hidden his chainsaw. And so once we got the chainsaw out, then obviously everything came out extremely fast compared to after swinging an axe. But because I swung an axe so much, the back straps of my arms and stuff were all super like swollen in a sense, like because I was working on it. I was working my muscles that I haven't really used in a really long time. But it was a fun day. It was fun pulling trees out of the ground. Major workout, it was like a free workout. Oh man. Has anybody watching my videos seen any of the new It movies? Like, and if you don't know who It is, I'm talking about It, the killer clown. Okay? Because I loved the old It movie, and but the new It movies are like, I think they're probably my all-time favorite movies now. Aha! Where did you cut trees down at? Was it at Matt's house, or did you do it at Mike's work, or? Well, Holly, they're not scary. I mean, like literally, I watched all of It once, never jumped a single time, and then when I watched It 2, there was only one moment that I jumped, and it was one of those things where like you knew it was coming, so you're like your whole time you're sitting there, you're like, oh, something's about to happen. Oh shit, it's gonna happen, and then like the dude turns and it's in his face. And for some reason, I kind of jumped a little bit. Literally, the only time. Those movies are so funny. Dude, I've got this thing inside of my body, okay? Like, scary movies don't scare me because I know they're fake. They're not real. That's the point of it being a scary movie. It's not a real movie. Like, first time I watched Paranormal Activity, everybody I watched it with was terrified to leave my buddy's house because we all watched over at a buddy's house. Everybody was terrified to leave because they had to walk in the dark to get to their cars. They were like, oh, I don't want to leave. And I'm like, it's a fake movie. Like, it's not real. So, okay, I understand. You guys are scaredy cats or whatever. That's fine. But like, it's not. There's nothing scary about it. It's the there everything that happens in it you see coming, and it's not even one of those things where like I was just explaining where like he's facing this way and then like you can hear some eerie music start and then he turns around and it's like a jump scare. Yeah, see, well, why would you be scared after Paranormal Activity? It's not real. It's like watching a fucking Blair. What? No, not is that the Blair Witch? What's that movie that came out in the '90s about the kids who ran around in the forest with a video camera? And I think it was a Blair Witch. It might not be. It's something with the witch or something. And everybody lost their shit over it, being like, "It's real! It's real!" It's like, dude. Those dudes made millions of dollars off of everybody thinking it was real, and all it was is just a bunch of kids that ran in the woods at nighttime, made scary noises, and was like, "Oh!" Yeah, Blair Witch Project. That's what I thought. It's scary movies are fake. The only thing that scares me is real life scary shit, like seeing a ghost. Well, okay, we didn't really see the ghost, but me and Mike had to walk into a house that had a television that was changing. Okay, first off, the television was on when it should not have been on. The house was locked up. There was nobody in the house. It was completely empty. And the television was changing the channels by itself. Rachel was there. She did not come with us. And me and Mike walked into this house back to back, and we had to go in there and unplug the television because we couldn't just leave the TV on and it was too scary. But like I said, that scares me because that's like real life. Like something creepy's going on and I can't explain it. Now I'm scared. But a movie is a movie. Like there's nothing scary about a movie. You know the person who made the movie Yeah, you did hide outside, which don't get me wrong, I kind of wish that I didn't have to go inside there because I still to this day am fucking can't believe that Mike and I actually walked into that fucking house, man. That was just fucked up. We were riding four wheelers, we were drunk, we were riding four wheelers, having a good time, and we seen some lights on in the house, and we knew that nobody was in the house and that nobody should be in the house. And then when we get up to the room where the lights were on, and it wasn't really the lights, it was the television that was making light, and the TV was surfing through the channels, and nobody was in the house. The TV remote also was not there. Um, what's Bobby Mackey's? I've never even heard of that, to be honest. Is that like a scary place or something? Also watch this ghost show. It's called Achievement Haunter because it's made by people from YouTube. They go to the most notoriously haunted places that even these other TV shows that are on TV that like go to these haunted houses or mansions and stuff that are known to be haunted and stuff. And these YouTube people go there and do the same stuff that the people on TV do, except for um the differences is Um, but see, that's the best part. Is like you watch Ghost Adventures. I guarantee that something weird and creepy happened, and they were like, "Oh no, this place is haunted." And then that's the show because that's the point of a television show. If they don't have anything exciting happen, then the show's not going to get good ratings and it's going to fail. So they have to fake shit. But then you watch like Achievement Haunter, which is the YouTube people who go into these haunted places, and they go spend entire weekends at these buildings and never once have a single thing happen. So their whole point of their show is to debunk the fact of all these TV shows lie to you that they're and that's not to say I don't believe in ghosts because I do. I completely believe in ghosts, but I definitely feel like there are a lot of people out there that embellish ghosts being real in places that aren't. Like they're in a building and they hear a creepy noise and they're like, oh, it's a ghost. And here it was a mouse that ran across a piece of wood or so. I mean, like there's a million things that could be happening in an abandoned building. And just because you hear a noise does not attribute it to being a ghost. Um, yeah, but what kind of stuff, Holly? Like what kind of stuff happens? Like, are we just talking scary noises? Like, did somebody get possessed? Because then that'd be creepy. Did you physically see a ghost in your face? That'd be creepy. You know, even nowadays with like the whole television story that we had, like if it wasn't literally the fact that we were in a remote area in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't even been scared in the city because there could be a million reasons to why the television was on and changing channels. Somebody else's remote, they have the same television, can turn on the same television and can also change the channels. So a house next door could have just accidentally hit the power button. Maybe they fell asleep, they rolled over on the remote and it started changing the channels. I mean, I need definite proof that there's a ghost before I'm going to sit here and say, oh my God, this place is haunted. Wow, Michael, way to finally show up. We've only been talking shit about you for like 4 streams because you haven't been here. Actually, we won't talk shit, but you know what I mean. We've been busting your balls because we're like, where's Michael? He don't show up no more. Yeah, but here's the thing, Holly. So if the building is quote unquote known to be haunted, how do you know that they didn't design the trash can to move when people are around it? They could put a magnet under the floor and a magnet in the trash can. And if you move the magnet under the floor, the trash can will move with the magnet. I feel it. I'm sure there's a lot of people dying. I'm not trying to say that you use lying that the place isn't haunted. It might as well probably be haunted. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. I need proof. If I see a trash can move, it's not going to scare me because I'm going to think with nowadays technology, there's probably some tomfoolery going on in the background that you don't know about. Hey, I'm just saying, there's a lot. You got to think of where our technology is set up nowadays. It'd be so easy to make something move and make someone feel like it's moving by itself, but really there's a machine or somebody who's moving it that you just don't see or know about. That's why even these television shows I don't believe in, because I'm not there. And there was even a video I watched once where this guy, or a TV show where this guy got possessed. He started walking into a river and he took all of his clothes off. And then all of a sudden he snapped out of it and he was all like, oh my God, what happened? He's a paid actor. Do you know how easy it is to fake that you're possessed and then just walk into a river and start taking your clothes off? I mean, shit, the next time me and Rachel go down south, which should hopefully be soon, if it's warm enough, I'll record myself pretending to be possessed and walk into a river and start pulling my clothes off. And then you guys can all go around saying that you saw me be possessed by a ghost, because you don't know any better. Were you there? No, you weren't, but you're watching on TV. Oh, it's scary now because it's on TV. It's fake. It's all fake. Until I see it with my own eyes, it's fake. That's how I run my life. Everything. It's also like that's how I started off the whole. I bet the alcohol was good. I would enjoy going to a haunted bar though, just because, like I said, it would still be interesting. Like I would still like to go to feel like, if I feel like it, I really feel like it's a haunted place, or if it's not, like, and then on top of that, if I can get drunk on top of that, then that just sounds like an even better time. But I also jokingly, in the beginning of this whole coronavirus thing, I said, well, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anybody who had it, and I've not even seen anybody remotely around me who's gotten it. So to me, it was fake as well. But I know obviously coronavirus isn't fake, and I'm not trying to be mean. I know there's a lot of people out there getting sick and dying, and I do feel bad for them. But that was like when this whole thing started, that was my whole thing, was like, I don't see it. So to me, it's not real. It's just, I got to see it to believe it. And I did see a video a couple days ago that was a pretty good like in your face to me. It wasn't like the person was bashing me completely, but it was a person explaining the fact of, just because you don't see the coronavirus doesn't mean it's not real, and just because you don't see God doesn't mean that God's not real. And I was like, damn, that's actually a good point, because that's kind of also how I've always been with my whole religious beliefs, is like, well, I've never seen God. I've prayed to whoever 100 times and never had anything come of it. So why am I to believe that there's something there when I've never seen it? I've never firsthand experienced it. But then, like I said, at the same time, like that video was just that whole point of being like, just because you don't see something, just because you haven't experienced it, doesn't mean that it's not a thing. And I was just like, touche. It was a very good touche moment of like, good point. That's a very good point. I have not seen the coronavirus firsthand, but I know it's a real thing. So I guess realistically, it's not right for me to run around and say, well, God's not real because I haven't seen him, because he might very well be real. I just have never had that experience of seeing him, which, like I said, at the same time, if I die and I wake up in some form of afterlife and God's standing in front of me, I will 100% admit to him that I did not believe in him at all, and that I'm willing to spend my eternity in hell because for not believing in him, just because he has never shown himself to me in any specific significant way for me to have started believing in that stuff. So that's also why I go around and tell people that I've already signed my lease for my apartment in hell, because I'm sure I'll go there. I do a lot of good things in life, so a lot of people are always like, "You're a good person, you'll go to heaven," and I'm like, "Yeah, but." If you go around telling everybody you don't believe in somebody, and then this person was actually real, and then I die and I have to go stand in front of him, and somehow now I have to like ask for forgiveness. Like, I'm not going to do that. That's not the type of person I am. I'll just straight up tell him, like, dude, I didn't believe you were real, but now that I see you, I see that you're real, and I'm cool with living the rest of my life in hell, knowing that I didn't believe in something that was real because I just had no proof. Which actually, on top of that, there's also another thing out there that says if you don't believe in God, it's actually better to go your entire life believing in God and having Him not be real than it is to go your entire life not believing in God and have Him be real. Because at least if He isn't real and you believed He was real the whole time, then you just die and you never wake up and that was the end of it. But if you go your whole entire life not believing He's real and then He ends up being real, then you have to spend your eternity in hell because you decided not to believe in God, which I also agree is a very logical way of thinking about it. Like, it's just smarter to believe in the dude even if he's real or not, because if he is, your chances of having a great afterlife obviously are going to be a lot better if he is real compared to if you go believing like I do that he doesn't exist, then I have to spend the rest of my life in hell because I chose to not believe. But still, that's not gonna all of a sudden change my feelings because one person brings up wow, look at that sexy hair, dude. Dude, look at that sexy hair, dude. We could totally just cut my hair. I could cut my hair right now. Should I cut my hair right now? What do you think? Give me your opinions in the chat. If I cut my hair again, I'm going to go back to what I had last summer, which was long up top. Oh no, I'm not pushing nothing on nobody, Michael. I'm not fucking. I'm just having conversation. Okay. If we can't converse about religion, whether I believe in it or not, then what's the point? I'm not sitting here telling you I don't think you should believe in him. I want you to be like me and not believe in him. That's not how this conversation was going at all. I was simply stating that I don't believe in him and that if he is real, then that's completely fine, that I'm fine with not believing in him. Like, you are allowed to believe in him. I'm cool with that. But that's just not for me. You get what I'm saying? But you guys have never seen, I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever saw what my hair was like. I want to take it back to what my old hair was like, which I don't know if I might be able to find a photo on Instagram of it, but oh, yeah, I wasn't trying to get like rude about it. I was just re-emphasizing the fact of I literally am completely 100% fine with how anybody feels about religion, 100%, no matter what your view is or everything. That's completely fine. I just wanted to converse on that because of, like I said, I just seen that guy who was talking about the fact that God's, just because you don't see God doesn't mean he isn't real. And I was like, touche, like that's a very good point, because that would have been one of my main points way back in the day, was like, well, I've never seen him, so how am I supposed to believe in him? And and like I said, he actually proved the point of just because you don't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because I've never seen a lot of things in real life that I know that exist in real life. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like, this is a very true and valid point, and I totally agree with him, 100%. Cannot not believe in something just because you never seen it. I'm trying to find this picture. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm going to have to scroll back kind of far because it's been a long time since I had my fancy hair. And obviously, I also understand that everybody's got their own opinions about hair, and I'm sure some people out there probably won't like what my hair looked like, which is fine. But I actually really enjoyed what my hair looked like back to when I'm trying to find it. And so that's why I've kind of been thinking about wanting to go back to it, just because I actually really enjoyed having fancy hair. Um, did you? Oh, I feel you. I feel you, Michael. It's cool. But that's where the conversation started with. So I apologize you missed it because that would obviously be a part of that conversation you missed. So it makes sense. But yeah, did you take a picture of your hair and put it on Instagram? Because am I friends with you on Instagram, Holly, or are you just friends with me? I don't remember if I like I don't remember how that worked. I don't know if you just sent me a friend request or if I sent you one back. Oh shit! Actually, I think I passed it because by the looks of it, I'm into pictures that. Oh, I just saw videos of Colton's birthday. Yeah, Rachel, are you still here? Oh wait, Rachel might be here, but she might be sleeping because it is 11 o'clock and she hasn't been talking. And sometimes she leaves her phone open while watching me. um. Oh, that's dope. We're actually May 1st is when Ohio, and they're not really lifting our lockdown 100%, but Ohio's starting our soft reopening um, May 1st. But I just found videos of Colton's birthday from last year, Rachel, when you guys got him the big red ball. Scrolling through Instagram and I saw the video of him playing with his big red ball popped up, and I was like, "Oh, you baby man!" I love baby man. I miss him. I want to give him a hug, but obviously, every time I come over, I'm obviously trying not to hug him, just in the off chance that either he has something or I have something. We aren't, passing stuff back and forth. But I really miss my baby man hugs. I'm lacking on them, and it makes me sad. He's that baby man. He fills this void in my heart. He makes me super happy inside, and I could not imagine what life would be like if you and Mike had not had baby man. He's too special to me. I really cannot find the picture of my hair. This is odd. It was not that long ago. Maybe I had my hair before baby man's birthday. I don't remember. Maybe it's been more than a year. Because these are definitely pictures of last summer, and my hair's short, but that's it. It's just short. Wait. Ooh, look at that sexy beast. Ooh, baby. Oh, poor baby man. Well, I know he's not awake right now, but you make sure you let baby man know that I obviously miss not getting my baby man hugs, and I love that kid to death because I definitely miss our hanging out with the little dude. I was gonna show you guys a picture of me with my shirt off, but then I was like, maybe YouTube might have a problem with that, but I guess we can say suck it, YouTube. Look at that sexy beast. Oh baby. Ooh, look at that. Actually, the only reason I took it is because I had my brand new fresh tattoo was in that picture, but look at that. Oh yeah, sexy. I have no muscle, so it's very unattractive, I understand, but it's what I have to work with, so it's what we got to work with. Oh, look, it's pictures of me, Mike, and Rachel on vacation. Yeah, look, Rachel. Yeah, yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It was a fun vacation. Oh, oh well, okay. Well, I apologize, Holly. I guess I never sent you a friend request back. I thought I had. I keep hearing noises outside. Oh, interesting. I don't see anybody, but I do see a cop parked down at the end of my road, which is interesting because I have no idea why he's there. Maybe he's coming to yell at me. Wheel, wheel. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. There's also a lot of pictures of me and my dog on Instagram, which make complete sense because I love my dog. Apparently, it was over a year ago because now I'm finding the pictures with me and my hair, but this is after it had grown out a little bit. So now I just got to find the one from when I just shaved my head. Well, I wouldn't say shaved, but I have this one picture in my head that I'm like, I know I took it. I know I posted on Instagram. Out there, it's not the picture I was thinking of, but this is the picture of my hair. That's the hair I want back. You know, I want it super short on the sides and I want it long on top. I don't know why I like that so much, but once I did that, I was like, man, I think this is balling. I think like it fit me really well. So I was like, if I were to cut my hair again, I want to go back to that. Oh my gosh. uh, please work. You guys want to watch another video? If it will load. It's an old video, so I don't know if it will actually load up. I don't think it's gonna work. You think it would work good again? Oh, it's not working, man. There's this. I'm not a huge fan of Drake, to be honest. There happens to be a lot of songs that Drake makes that I find okay, but he's not like somebody I go out of my way to try to like listen to Drake. But yeah, he has this random like video clip in the middle of one of his songs. It's so funny, and this black girl walks up to this register and she's got some big old titties and the shirt that's like popping these titties out and oh my God, Rachel, I'm gonna cut that story off to explain something to you guys that happened to me yesterday that I think was amazing. Okay, in the video, um, um, I recorded a video yesterday while going to the drive-through um that that will get posted, so you will eventually see it. You don't get to hear what happened all the way, but you'll hear me. You won't hear the other side of it, but it was amazingly perfect how it worked out. So I went to the drive-through to go get cigarettes, right? And the girl that I obviously called my girlfriend, which no one knows about her besides Rachel, but this really hot girl works at the drive-through, and it took me a real long time to finally like talk to her, and I got to hang out with her for a little bit one night. But regardless, so my girlfriend was working at the drive-through, and when I pull up, there's like a car who's being waited on, and then there's another car in front of me that's being waited on, and there's an older woman that's waiting on the car in front of me, and my quote unquote um my quote unquote girlfriend was in the front, was dealing with the farthest most car. And so like I said, I'm recording a video on my phone, so like you guys that are listening to the story right now will definitely then like see it, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But like as I pull into the drive-through, I'm like, oh man, I hope this old woman takes her time and that I get my girlfriend to wait on me instead, so that way I get to like talk to her or whatever. And like no sooner did I pull up, the car in front leaves, so she walks over to get cigarettes, and I kind of bullshit with her just a little bit or whatever. She gives me my cigarettes, I give her the money, she goes away, she comes back and brings me the change. And when she brings me the change, she walks over and she starts like stocking shelves, but she's stocking shelves in between the car in front of me and my car. And the car in front of me was apparently buying the entire store, because I sat in a drive-through for almost 10 minutes while they just kept buying everything. I mean, they bought drinks and they bought cigarettes and they bought candy, then they bought chips and they were buying like everything in the store. So I'm just having to sit there. So I'm recording a video But you can even tell in the video that I'm staring at this girl who's stocking the shelves, and I'm just staring at her ass the whole time. And then I get into this full-on conversation about how this girl's got like the perfect ass. It's like a perfect small round tight bubble butt. It's like awesome. I love it. And I was explaining in the video that I felt like a creep. I felt less of a creep than if I was recording her ass while talking about it. But still, the fact that I was recording a video for YouTube while conversingly talking about this girl's ass. And I had my windows down and I wasn't paying attention. And she walks into the back room to go grab some more shit. And like the whole time she was out there stalking, I'm keeping my voice down. I'm trying to like just talking to the video, but I'm not trying to like scream at the top of my lungs that I'm talking about this girl's ass on camera. And so, like I said, she walks around the corner and goes in the back room. Well, by the time that the car in front of me finally is done and they start to leave, now it's like, I'm about to leave then. So I'm rolling forward and I'm like trying to change the subject. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to stop talking about it, but I definitely just had to let you guys know that this girl's got the nicest ass I have ever seen. And as soon as I say that, she's coming out of the back room as I'm passing her with my open window. And I just said it. I just top of my lungs pretty much as loud as I'm talking right now, which, if anybody's outside, like my neighbors and stuff, I'm sure they hear me sitting out here talking. I'm not particularly the quietest person when I talk. And so I said that, like I see her in the peripherals of my eyes, and like I instantly, like I wasn't super embarrassed, but it was one of those things where I knew she had to have heard me. There was no way that she didn't hear me. And she walks up and she stops, and like I'm rolling past her really slow, and I kind of look over and smile at her, and she goes, "Thank you." And I was just like, yeah, your boy's making plays out here. So, like I said, you unfortunately you don't get to hear. You can't hear her. I've already pre-watched the video back to see if you can hear her. She's too far away, and with me moving, you can't actually hear her blushingly say thank you. But she was pretty blushy that here I was recording a video and I was talking about her having one fantastic ass, and that made my day. Even to the point where I came home and told my mom about it, because I was like, "Hey mom, you remember my girlfriend from the drive-thru? Totally just told her she had a nice ass to her face pretty much because I wasn't paying attention and just talked really loud. She was all about it." But I figured I'd tell you guys that story just preemptively, so when you eventually see when you preemptively see the video, you understand that why I laughingly looked in the other direction after saying that is because that's when she's like, "Thank you," and it's just like, "Hey, your boy." I'm single, so I'm allowed to be a male. I'm allowed to have these male situations where I see girls with hot asses and judge them. It's actually why it's also something I explained in the video. Like, I'm a single male. I can't deny that she's standing in front of me, bending over, and her ass is just there. It's like, obviously my eyes are like ass, like. And then I talked about this for literally like 5 minutes of the video. I thought it was funny. It's a 10-minute video, and literally half of it is about female body shapes. And I was like, look, some girls out there have small titties and big ass, and some girls out there got small ass and big titties. And look, either way is fine. Like, some guys have an ass preference. Some guys have a titty preference. I like them both preference. So, like, if you've got a big ass and small tits, I still think you're going to be hot as fuck. If you've got big tits and small ass, I still think you're hot as fuck. Because, like, I like titties and I like ass the same amount. I'm not an ass or a titty guy. I'm a both guy. And so that was another thing I was explaining in the video. It's just that, yeah. So done talking about that now, because you're going to see it in the video anyway. But maybe some of you will think less creepy of me if I preemptively explained the whole situation to you. Ass and titties. Ass and titties. Ass and titties. And big booty bitches. I love them. Ass and titties. Ass and titties. Ass and titties. And big booty bitches. That's a 3 6 Mafia song. If you've never heard it before, I strongly suggest that you go listen to it if you like hip hop. And if you don't, then I'll apologize because you probably won't like it. But it's called Ass and Titties and Big Booty Bitches. It's not called Big Booty Bitches, but that's the song. This is my fancy razor. Uh-oh. I guess we're not cutting our hair tonight because it's dead. The battery's dead. Can't really blame it. I brought my razor outside a little over a month ago to cut my hair, and it's been this long, and I have still yet to cut my hair. Oh good, I got one plug left on my adapter. Hey, excuse me, how come I only have one like? There's at least 3 people here talking to me, and only one of you hit the like button. Good night, Rachel. Thank you for staying long enough to hear my ass story. I could have been even more creepier sounding and said she's got an ass. Ass and titty. All right. Now we got to charge up that razor, boy. Maybe later tomorrow. Oh wait, I'm supposed to do stuff tomorrow. I don't know. At some point I'll cut my hair. I'll live stream it whenever I do cut the hair. Yeah, we have 4 people watching and 3 people who liked it, which I obviously understand that Rachel, Holly, and Michael have all liked the video. And we obviously aren't going to go any higher than that due to the fact of we always have that one person who watches, doesn't talk, and doesn't like my videos. So also found it very funny that one night I was live streaming, and when I got done live streaming, I went into my YouTube, and my YouTube told me that there was somebody, I mean, they don't tell you who, but there was somebody who was thumbs downing every single live stream I did. Every single one. And that made me mad. Really mad. So I made a video. It was 1 minute and 18 seconds long, I think. And it was me cussing out whoever that person was. And do you know what was funny, ironic about it? All the dislikes disappeared. Like, all of them. So whoever it was apparently saw that video and went back through and undisliked every single one. Are you talking about my father? Because yes, my dad came back today. My dad got home at like 6 o'clock this evening. He spent the entire week out of town. My dad was out hunting that there damn turkeys. And then he got back today at 6 o'clock. And then tomorrow, if it's what's decided upon tomorrow, I'll have to go to my uncle's house. My uncle is now living in a nursing home, so he does not. His house needs cleaned, and we have completely taken everything out of the upstairs of his house. But his basement still needs cleaned out, and his garage needs cleaned out, and so this week is pretty much going to be us going out to his house every day for the entire week to clean everything out because nursing homes are expensive, extremely expensive, and he has no money left. So eventually they'll take the house if he doesn't have any money. So we have to try to clean the house out and sell it before they take the house, and then use the money that we get from selling the house to pay for his ability to stay in the nursing home longer. which won't buy him very long, but it will buy him some time. And then eventually then he'll be put on Medicaid, and then the government will have to pay for it because he's only 64, I think, maybe 63, 64, somewhere around there. And he's already in a nursing home because he has had a very rough and fucked up life. So he's a very messed up individual at that age already. He's missing a leg, and he's got short-term memory loss, so he doesn't remember pretty much anything. It takes him a while to even figure out who you are whenever you walk into the room. So, whatever. It sucks, but, I've seen my uncle like this for the last, 29 years of my life. I mean, he's been pretty messed up for the majority of my life, so it's not too heartbreaking or anything like that that he's like that. It's just one of those things where it does suck, but some people have better luck in life. And for the most part, he's to blame for, I'd say, 50% of his not so great life. Nothing like drug related, but a lot of going really fast in cars and wrecking. It's fucked him up quite a lot. He got hit by a drunk driver because the drunk driver went left to center, and at the same time, my uncle was making the corner really fast, so he also went left to center, and they both hit directly in the center. So realistically, it was both their faults. It was one of those things where they'd obviously naturally blame the drunk driver because they were drunk and they crossed over the center line. But since from the impact of the crash, they could tell that my uncle was going about 95 miles per hour when they collided. And obviously the road that he was on was like 45 miles per hour. So my uncle was going way faster than he should have and thought, I'll just make this corner really fast. And instead of staying in his lane, he went left to center at the same time that she drunkenly went left to center, and they went head on into each other. That's when my uncle was in a coma for a year and a half. This is all way before I was ever born. He was riding a bicycle. Probably the most fucked up story of all of them. It involves my dad, which is pretty sad, but my uncle was riding a bicycle with my dad down the road, and a car came up over the hill and hit my uncle and ripped his leg off. And my dad had to pick my uncle up with his leg that was ripped off and carry him home. And so my dad had to go through a lot of therapy and stuff because it fucked him up pretty bad to have to pick up his brother that was inevitably bleeding to death because he was missing a limb and carry him home. So they obviously were unable to reattach the leg, henceforth why my uncle only has one leg. But yeah, my uncle's had a very fucked up life. And I do feel very bad for him. But like I said, all that stuff happened way before I was ever born. So I was already born into life with an uncle that was already mentally and physically fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So sad that he's now in the nursing home, but it's better that he's in the nursing home because now he has somebody that can watch him 24/7. He lived next door to my grandparents, and my grandparents took care of him. Obviously, his mom and dad took care of him because he obviously couldn't live. He could live alone, but he couldn't live alone all day. Somebody needed to go and check on him. And once my grandparents died, my dad did the best he could to go out there every day and check on my uncle and make sure everything was all right and stuff. But then I can tell you the exact story of exactly what happened, which now this one does involve me, and I was not a fan of what happened, and it really sucked. But my dad called my uncle one night. He was unable to make it out to his house, so my dad called my uncle. My uncle didn't answer his phone. So my dad figured, not a life or death situation, probably was away from the phone. I'll try in the morning. Well, then he wakes up in the morning, he calls my uncle doesn't answer. So now my dad's starting to get that thought in his head, what if something bad happened? So He calls him all day. My dad's at work. My dad's calling him all day. He isn't answering. So about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, my dad calls my mom, and I was home because at that time I was between jobs about a year and a half ago, kind of like now, but I was between jobs, so obviously I was at home, and my dad called my mom and asked my mom if she could ask me if I would be willing to run out to my uncle's house to go check on him, and so now I had that thought of like, great, now I'm gonna walk into the house and find my uncle dead or something bullshit like that, which is the last thing I need in my life, but it's one of those things where I needed to know, we needed to know if he was all right. So I got in my car. He lived about 25 minutes south of us. Got in my car, drove all the way down there. House was always unlocked and never had to worry about. He lived next door to a sheriff, so it wasn't like somebody was going to break in. They kept a pretty close eye on the house. Actually, to the point where when I showed up, they called my dad and said some strange guy showed up to the house, and my dad was like, "That's my son," because we have yet to hear from Ken all day. So when I walk in the house, I say, "Uncle Ken," and I don't hear anything, and I'm like, "Oh shit," like he's he's disabled to the point where it's not like he could have left. He has to be there, and if he's not answering, that's usually not good. It's 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So I say it again. I'm like, "Uncle Ken," and I hear back here, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So he just says back here. He's in his bedroom. So I'm thinking, oh, he must have just, whatever. Well, I get back into his bedroom. He's completely naked. He fell out of bed couple nights, or the 2 nights prior. Fell out of bed. Was completely dehydrated. Was delirious. He was seeing things that weren't there and stuff like that. Hadn't had any of his medications that he needs that actually are life threatening, that, like fuck him up if he doesn't have his medication. So I had to and go in there. He knows who I am. He's embarrassed as fuck. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm naked," and all this other stuff. But like it's hard to explain. Just because he's got a missing leg, it would make you think like it wouldn't be that hard to get up. But like he has no muscle strength, so when he falls on the ground, he can't pick himself back up. He's stuck wherever he falls. So he was just laying exactly where he fell, and so um, he was apparently trying to change his clothes, and that's when he fell over. So his pants were like around his ankles, but he had no ability to like lean up and grab his pants and pull them up. He was freaking out. He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm naked. This is embarrassing." And I was like, "Uncle Ken, you're in a bad shape, man. Like, I'd rather know that you're okay and have you be naked than, like finding you dead. Like that's, so, uh, I ended up, he weighs a fuck ton. He probably weighed every bit of over 200 pounds. And I'm not the strongest motherfucker in the world. So I had to put all my might I could into picking this dude off the ground and get him in this wheelchair. Got him a towel so he at least could, cover himself up, so he wasn't just sitting there naked. He I got him into the living room. I called my dad, and I was like, at this time, I didn't realize he was dehydrated or that he hadn't been taking his medication, kind of thing. So I didn't realize the severity of what was going on. But I called my dad, explained that I found him on the floor, and that, I got him up, I got him in his wheelchair again, and that, that he seems all right now. I got him something to drink, obviously, just because naturally I realized if he's been on the floor for 2 hours or 2 days that he obviously hasn't had anything to drink. So I got him a drink, and I went to sit down on this chair after my dad was obviously leaving work to then come to pick up my uncle, take him to the hospital, just to obviously see and make sure if everything was okay. And when I went to sit down in the seat, my uncle goes, "Don't sit there." And I was like, "Oh shit, why?" And now I'm thinking like I was going to sit on a chair that's like ancient or something that I'm just not supposed to sit in or something. So I was like, "Oh shit, my bad. Why?" And he goes, "You don't see those bugs all over it?" And I turn and I look at it, and it's just a chair. And I'm like, "Uncle Ken, there's no bugs there." And he's like, "Wait, you don't see them? And I was like, no, there's no bugs there. And he's like, oh, I can see bugs. And I was like, oh shit. So I called my dad back. I left the house because I didn't want to like freak my uncle out. I called my dad back and was like, yeah, you need to get here fast because he's delusional. Like he's seeing shit and stuff. And I went back in the house then and um, and just chit chatted, kept conversation going, just so that way it was okay. He was wondering what was going to happen next, and I explained to him that Dad was on the way to take him to the hospital, in which he's like, "Oh no, I don't need no damn hospital." And I'm like, "Uncle Ken, you're seeing stuff that's not there, like something's not right." And then, like I said, when we got him to the hospital, he was completely dehydrated, which was causing the delusions. Um, he had a bladder infection because he has a catheter. Because when his leg got ripped off, it like obviously damaged a whole bunch of other stuff. So they had to put catheters, and he has no butthole, so he pooped out in the bag on the side and stuff, and those bags never got changed because he was laying there. So like shit got infected. It's gross, I know, but it's facts of life. It happens to people, and so it was pretty much at that point that then it was my dad has what's that called, power of attorney from my uncle. Once my grandparents died, obviously being it's his brother, he has power of attorney over my uncle. And so then at that point, since my uncle had obviously had this happen, and since technically no one was really there to go out there and make sure that everything was okay, we just figuratively decided it was probably best to move him into a nursing home so that he could be watched 24/7. And he's been there ever since. So it's like I said, it's kind of sad. I know, and fucking don't no need to say you're sorry and chat and stuff like I'd say. It's fucking life happens. I just happier than anything that I found him alive. That's all that really matters. And out of that entire story was like, even when the whole time he's sitting there being like embarrassed that he was naked on the floor, like I didn't say it, but in my head, the only thing I'm thinking about is like, dude, I give zero fucks. You're naked. I literally thought I was gonna find you dead. Like that would have been way worse than finding my uncle on the floor naked. Like it's just yeah. So that's where he's been, and so now we're still working on cleaning his house out, and that's where I'm probably going to be tomorrow during the day, is cleaning out the house. So if I don't do that, or if I don't have to be there all day, then I will most likely cut my hair and do a day live stream, which then I understand that most of you won't be able to be here to watch it, but obviously the VOD, as they call it, but the post video that gets posted onto the YouTube channel will be there of me shaving. So if you then want to go back and watch it, it will be there for you. But Tiffany, not sure if you're still here, but hello, nice to see you again. I apologize. I was in the middle of a story and didn't want to break off of the story, so I just continued to talk. So I've only got 3 people here, so I'm not sure if you're still one of those 3 people and you're still here, or if you decided to leave because I did not choose to say hello to you. But, you know, just like I said, I was in the middle of a story, didn't feel like breaking off of my story. Oh, well, well, did you rewatch? I mean, rewatch. Did you end up watching the video of the fire, or are you just telling me that you missed it? Because it was pretty fun. I enjoyed having a fire and actually sitting down and recording it for you guys, and obviously chit chatting with you guys. And we had one hell of a crazy ass conversation toward the end of that. That literally that night toward the end there, we were talking about children and percentages of being fathers. And Joe, a buddy of mine who's related to Rachel now, it's actually Rachel's brother-in-law, was there talking with me, and I was busting his chops and he was busting my chops. But And Holly, I know that you will probably be there during the day, but I was just meaning for anybody else. I highly doubt that there's very many people out there that truly watch the entire stream when it gets posted to the YouTube channel. But in the off chance that someone out there had happened to be watching at this point in time post video, then at least I was telling them that, like, hey, there will be a video up because they wouldn't have been there for the stream or whatever. Clearing all my bases, But I really do enjoy that that YouTube actually allows you to, like, watch the video and still have the live chat, because, like, for a long time there they didn't do that. And so, like, unless I physically said what you guys said in chat in the videos, it was just me talking to somebody that they had no idea what was asked. I mean, this is years ago. This is like even my gaming videos and stuff like that. There's sometimes where I'll be playing a game and I'll be talking to somebody, but in the video they don't have live chat. It's just me recording the video. So it's like confusing when I'm like answering a question out of nowhere and people are just kind of like, what are you talking about? But it's like, but yeah, now I actually quite enjoy the fact of you can watch, like, when Michael obviously had just watched the fire video after it got posted, you can pull up the live chat so you can actually see what's being conversed through chat and me at the same time, which I like, obviously. But I am also not a morning person. It's also why I'm a night owl and stay up for ungodly hours of the night, because I'm meant to be up during the night and sleeping all day. That's pretty much how my life's been recently. Still, I'm really starting to get kind of mad about two things in my life currently. One of them being why I keep applying for jobs but not hearing anything. Because, like, in a normal circumstance, if all this virus bullshit wasn't going around, you'd apply for a job and for some reason they didn't want you, or they didn't have the ability to use you, they would email or call you and say something like, hey, thank you for applying, but we can't use you right now, or this or that. And I've applied for a fuck ton of jobs and heard zero from any of them. And some of these jobs I've applied for weeks ago that I've heard nothing from. So it kind of makes me start to think that they either got super swamped with applications that they don't even have the ability to reach out to everybody to say, sorry, we can't use you, or something's fucking up somewhere and my applications aren't going in or something. Like, I don't know, but it's really disheartening and bothers me a lot to think that there's so many companies out there that I've applied for and I've heard nothing at all. And then the other thing that really bothers me is the fact that the IRS won't tell me whether I'm going to receive one of these payments, which, if I'm not, that's fine. But again, tell me so I'm not sitting here wondering if I'm going to get money or not. Like, it keeps telling me if I go on to the non-filer website and pull up my application, it says the IRS has accepted your application and they will determine whether you will get your EIP, I think it's called, or whatever, like environmental impact payment or something like that, whatever it's called, that that they were giving the monies away. But I filed that literally like almost a month ago now, and they're still at the same process. Like, it hasn't gone forward. So it's like, is the IRS that swamped where they're still trying to figure things out? Why haven't you emailed me and told me this? Or am I just not going to get one and you just said, fuck it, we're just not going to tell him he's not going to get one? Because here I am still thinking and living my life in the thought of, like, well, eventually here I should be getting money from the government, but maybe I won't. And if I'm not, that's fine. Just tell me so I don't go on thinking I might be getting some money when it would take a simple email to say, I'm sorry, but we denied you, or yes, you'll get one, but hey, it might take a month or two. Like, okay, that's fine, but I don't like being in this like weird mixed part where I'm confused what's going to happen. And you know, and like I've already said in other videos, that's also really disheartening and bothersome is like, and you know, I'm not saying anything rude about Rachel. It's nothing mean against Rachel or anything, but Rachel got her stimulus check, but she's working and I'm not. So does that make any sense to think that Rachel got money when she's making money and when us people who aren't working are the ones that aren't getting money, which was the whole point of the stimulus check, was to help the people out that aren't working. So, or the fact of that dead people are receiving checks. Like my mom got a check in the mail for my grandmother who's been dead for 5 years. My grandmother who's been dead for 5 years got stimulus money, but I haven't. It's just like, it's such a fucked up situation. So yeah, well, and you know, obviously, like I was saying, you know, Holly obviously agrees or whatever, and I see, you know, Michael now has obviously also said he also hasn't gotten his stimulus money, but it's just like, if I'm not going to get it, let me know. But if I am going to get it, let me know. But you don't have to say like, okay, you will get it, but we'll get it to you in days, and then it not show up. You know, just simply say like, you'll get it, but it's going to be a while. That's okay. At least I know it's coming, and I don't have to keep constantly checking to see if my application's been accepted or not. And, you know, and if I'm not going to get it, then that's fine too. But just tell me so I'm not sitting here thinking, well, I should be getting some money soon. I should hopefully be getting some money soon to eventually find out, no, you're not going to get it. It's like, couldn't you have told me this like literally weeks ago? Like, I understand that there's a lot of issues going on right now and their government's all kinds of wishy-washy and there's a lot fucked up and everything like that. Like, that's understandable, but it doesn't seem right to think that they can't fucking email you and let you know what's going on. Yeah, exactly, Holly. Either crush my dreams now or later. Or now, not later. And they told you August? See, that's a long time. But see, even that, Michael, you have a job, so you filed your taxes. Me and Holly, we don't work. So we had to do a non-filer, which means that we weren't going to file taxes. So since I wasn't going to file taxes anyways, I had to do a non-filer thing, which is a completely different situation. So whereas you are in the same boat as us, you're really not, because realistically, you will still get your money back from your taxes. You'll get your tax money back regardless. Whereas me and Holly, we don't have that. We either do get it or we don't get it. That's how it goes down, because we weren't going to file taxes because neither of us made the amount of money to have to file taxes. Henceforth, why it's called a non-filer form is because we weren't going to file taxes anyways. So, you know, it's up to the government whether or not we actually get money or not, because we weren't going to file taxes this year anyways. So it's a big mess. I mean, I understand there's a lot going on and stuff, but it just seems so unprofessional for our government to not be able to, at least of all things, at least email me. Like, I have to go onto this website just to check the status, and they didn't even email me saying like, oh, your application was accepted. When it was, I had to get onto the website and find out that it got accepted like 3 days prior to me checking it, because they never emailed me. It's just like, why couldn't a simple email have been sent to me and said, hey, look, you were accepted, because then I wouldn't have had to go onto the website and check. It would have just been right there on my emails, just telling you like, hey. I hope we all get it too, Michael. I mean, realistically, like I said, since I wasn't going to file taxes anyways because I didn't make enough money to file taxes last year, you know, if it turns around and they end up not giving it to me, I'm not going to be like pissed at the government, like they fucked me over. Like, I understand I wouldn't have gotten money from taxes anyways, so I mean, it seems weird that I would get money. But like I said, this also seems very weird that they can't just tell me yes or no, and they're just going to put me in limbo for the next 8 months to then be like, oh, by the way, you're not going to get any money. And it's like, awesome, government, thank you for wasting my time and making me think I was going to get something that everybody else got but I don't. And which then also makes you think of, So if I get denied and I don't get any money, then how come dead people are getting money? Because they haven't filed taxes. My grandma, I keep saying my grandma's been dead for 5 years, and that's a complete lie. My grandma's been dead since I was 21, and I'm 29. So my grandma's been dead for 9 years, and she received a stimulus check. So how come a dead person who hasn't filed their taxes in 9 years received stimulus money, but I'm not going to get it because I didn't file taxes 2 years in a row because I didn't make enough money? See, I'm very open about my information. I understand a lot of people out there would be embarrassed to be like, the cutoff is like 14 grand. So that's to say that in the last 2 years, I haven't made more than $14,000. Yes, it's embarrassing. Am I proud of this? Absolutely not. But it's still that fact. But I like to be very open and transparent about my life with people because I understand that not all of us live this extravagant life where we make tons of money. Like I'm skimming through life on a thread, and I'm doing what I can to get to where I can to hopefully make good money somewhere, but I like to be honest. I'm an honest person, so I like to be honest with people that my life is not in the greatest position. Man, I've been talking so much, my mouth became dry. Man, Holly, I was just gonna get my dog out too. Just gonna get my dog to come do a guest appearance, just like I did Friday night. She's currently sleeping, but I'm sure if I walked over there and woke her up, um, yes, and I also agree, Michael, is 100%. A job is a job. You gotta make money somehow, but being as there's a lot of people out there that make obviously way more than $14,000 a year, and that's all I make. Like my best friend, who I was just over at his house yesterday, makes $130,000 a year. He didn't go to school. He just lucked out and got himself a great fucking job. And do I envy him, but am I like upset, or do I, like I can't be mad at him that he got lucky and ended up, um she's actually in a relationship. So store lady is off of my back for now until I'm sure the relationship she's in probably won't last long, and then she'll be right up my ass again. But no, she's in a relationship, and I have yet to hear from her since she got in one. So I'm actually quite glad about that. Um, she can now annoy somebody else for a while. Yeah, but see, 48, like, and I know this is crazy, but $48,000 is a lot to me because the most I've ever made in 1 year from a job was $24,000. So literally, you make double of what you make double of what the maximum I've ever made in my entire life in 1 year from a job. So like if I started a job and then at the end of this year made $48,000, I would be hyped. I could afford so much better lifestyle than the lifestyle I live, the very poor lifestyle I live now, because I would actually have money to do stuff. Whereas with $24,000, you'd be quite surprised how fast it disappears, especially when I was making $24,000 a year. I was still in my heavy stages of smoking marijuana, and I was spending around about $600 to $800 a month on weed. So you add that up, with every month for 12 months at $800. And then you come down to find out that I spent nearly half of my yearly money on just marijuana. And, obviously it's just also could be to blame as to why I'm in the position I'm in now. I completely understand that. But, fortunately I was able to quit. And I don't get me wrong, I have zero negative feelings about marijuana. All my friends still do it, and I'm still, I don't find anything wrong with it. But as of right now, where I'm at in life, I can't afford to do it because I make no money. And, and until I can ever find a job where I make good money is would be the next time I could ever think about starting back up and becoming a pothead again, because I just can't afford to buy it. It's expensive, and fucking, if they make it legal, then it will be less expensive, because instead of buying it illegally through somebody, I can buy it legally from a store, and so it will have taxes, and it should technically be cheaper through a store than what you have to buy it illegally through somebody else. But that's still a long way away. This year was the year Ohio was going to vote whether or not they were going to make it recreational or not, and yet now we have coronavirus. So something tells me marijuana is probably the least thing that anybody in Ohio is thinking about trying to make legal right now, because we are all dealing with coronavirus. But whatever, like I said, at first when I quit, I thought my life was over. Well, I kind of did start my own company before all coronavirus hit. When I was working construction, I'd either work with a guy who hired me as a subcontractor, which meant that like I was my own company and I would go work with him and we'd work together, but it was his company and I was just working. I was like helping him on jobs and stuff. And then I was off doing my own little jobs here and there and stuff like that. But obviously, coronavirus hits, and when you do construction, nobody wants you in your house working on stuff. So that kind of screwed that up. Now, my buddy who makes 130K a year was just talking to me today about how I should start being a landscaper, because I landscaped for a year. 2 years ago, I was a landscaper for a year, and um, and there's good money in that, and I know what to do, and I know how to make yards look good, and I know what I need. I know the steps, and I have a lot of the equipment that would be needed to make my own landscaping company. So maybe, like, more recently, I mean, maybe in the future here, I might go down that route. But it's one of those things where when you have your own company, you just got to pray that everything works out. You can start your own company. It doesn't mean that anybody's ever going to actually hire you. You just got to hope that everything works out and somebody finally reaches out and wants you to work for them or mow for them or construction or whatever. And at least the best part about it is, if I did start landscaping, I could landscape and still do construction on top of that. Like I could, because when I was landscaping for this guy that I was landscaping for, we only worked about half a day, because we would have a bunch of yards to do. But if you bust your ass for like 3 or 4 days, if you bust your ass for like 3 or 4 days and you get all of the houses done, or all the residential and commercial lots done, then you have a couple days where you're slow. So that's when you go to the commercial properties and you clean up tree branches and you do this and that. You do the extra stuff, which I'm not saying isn't something that still would also need done, but those would also be the days where you could schedule to go do somebody's drywall, or you could go put a porch in somewhere or something. There's other things you could be doing that involve carpentry. So that is why I have been thinking about this a lot, and why my buddy's been talking about it with me, because he, like I say, makes 130K a year, so he could invest the money in getting me started, and I would be the one doing the work. But then he would be the one he'd be like co-owner, and he would just be making money off of a company that he doesn't actually work for, which I'd be fine with that, because obviously I don't have the money to start my own full company right now. But if somebody else wanted to invest in me starting a company, then I probably could. So if he wanted to willingly give me the money, I'd willingly give him parts of the money, like of the profit. I could start giving him parts of the profit, and he could still work his day job making 130K a year, and he just makes some other side money through this company that he's partial owner of, while I'm the one doing all the work, which sounds like a shitty thing, but realistically it sounds like a goddamn dream in my life. So it might be where it ends up, but I can't guarantee that. I don't really know how life's going to work out. We can hope and plan, but it doesn't particularly mean that life's going to work the way that we hope it does. At least if I can make enough money in the summer while mowing or while doing landscaping, then I could always purchase a vehicle to plow snow with in the winter because unfortunately with being Ohio, we only have about 6 to 7 months of the year where you can actually mow the yard, and the other half of the year is filled with snow where you got to plow. But then the last 3 years, we've gotten so little snow that everybody I know who plows barely got any money from the winter because they barely worked because there was no snow. So it's a big gamble. It's just a big gamble of life. But yeah, I've still been in contact with my sponsors, but um, like chit chatting with them and talking to them about. Did you by chance see the live stream? I know you weren't there for it, but did you watch the live stream of when I got really drunk? I think it was last Friday, not this past Friday, but the Friday before that. I drank some alcohol on live stream and got really fucking drunk from drinking whiskey and stuff. It was a really good live stream. A lot of people actually showed up, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So I'm thinking if I ever got some money, I might be able to go buy some alcohol again and have another drunk stream so everybody can talk to drunk Matt, because apparently drunk Matt's more enjoyable than sober Matt. But in my drunk stream, I finally told everybody who my sponsor was and everything like that. It's not that I got in trouble or I'm going to get in trouble for saying it, but I really wasn't supposed to say anything about it. But since I was drunk, I finally just opened my mouth and told everybody who and why I was being sponsored by. So I'm still working out details with them. I have a lot of like face-to-face video conferences I've been doing with them. They're like they're like teaching me the sense of oh, maybe you were there. I do think I did see you there. Oh, I do think you were there. Yeah. See, I don't remember. I was pretty drunk, to be honest. Like, I don't drink a whole lot. That was the first time I had drank. Actually, there's a lie. I drank Thursday night and I drank Friday night. Or it was Saturday that I drank. And I drank Friday night and I drank Saturday. Whatever. I drank 2 nights in a row. So realistically, I hadn't drank prior to both of those nights in like almost 2 months. So I don't drink a ton, but when I do, I like to drink hard and I get really drunk. So I don't remember a whole lot of the stream. But yeah, but I've been doing a lot of face stuff with them, like video conferencing with them and a whole bunch of other people. And they're like trying to teach us how the marketing thing goes down, like in the sense of what to say, what not to say, how to do the ad read in a sense, and like just things like that. You know, they don't want me just coming out here and being like, this is my sponsor, go buy their shit, and then that be it. You know, they want me to actually read a specific thing. They want me to say it with confidence, like I've said it 100 times before. So when I do these video conferences with them, you know, they make me read it to them, and then they teach me things of how I can make it funny and how I can do this and I do this. It's really cool. I really quite enjoy it. It's like going through a marketing program for free, you know, because since I'm going to be sponsoring their shit anyways, they figure, hey, we might as well hook this dude up with free marketing classes. And so he markets our shit good for us. And like I said, it works out for me great, because even if inevitably I don't get sponsored with them forever, you know, like their sponsorship with them don't last forever. If another sponsor comes up, it just makes it 10 times easier to start sponsoring another company, because I already have learned all that marketing stuff, you know, fun stuff. Actually, I was going to smoke the cigarette, but since Holly's back, I guess it's time for my guests to make their appearance. Even though, like I said, she's sleeping, so. Poppy? Baby Poppy? Oh, is you sleeping? Was you sleeping? Do you want to come outside? Do you want to come and say hi to the people of the chat? Do you want to say hello? You want to come outside just for a little bit? Just for a little bit. Okay? You want to come? You want to come? Oh, she stood up real fast. She's like, what? Yes, I want out of this cage. Come over this way. Come over this way. Come here, let me pick you up. Come here, let me pick you up, you big girl. Whoa, you're getting fat. You're getting fat. There you go. Get on there. There you go. All right, let me sit down next to you. Hey, baby girl. So I was sleeping, so I'm tired. I'm sleepy puppies. Oh, she's so warm too. Like obviously dogs are warmer than humans, but when dogs sleep at night, they're like radiators. They just pump out heat, and because she curls up in a ball, and so she is like a big warm puppy. Everybody wants to see you. Everybody wants to see you. Oh, don't you growl at me. Don't you growl at me. Hey, baby girl, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Come here. Give me a kiss. Izzy? Yeah, you're my baby. I love her. Such a smart dog. She's learned if I say give me a kiss, that means lick me. I love this baby puppy so much. Hey, you need to go potty. You need to go outside, go potty. You can go. You can go. Yep, push it. Push it. Yep, go. You can go. You just gotta push it with your nose, remember? I taught you. No, hey. Don't you use your claws. Use your nose. Come on. Push it. Push it with your nose. Come on. There you go. I hung a blanket up over the doorway because, okay, well, she came back in because I didn't go with her. So she's like, well, I'm not going out in the dark by myself. You're crazy. I put a blanket up in the doorway because since Ohio's still cold and chilly outside, I don't have a door. I have that garage door, but I have no man door. It's just open. So weather comes in and out of here. That's why I'm always in stuff. And obviously, as you can tell from the walls and stuff, there's no insulation. It's just a wood with gaps between it. So obviously, the flow of air is very strong in here, which is great in the summertime because then it doesn't get too hot. But in the wintertime, it sucks ass because it freezes your fucking shit off. So I hung a blanket up. It doesn't go over the whole doorway, but it goes pretty high up. Where'd you go? Where you at? Oh, she's standing next to me. Like, what? Why are you whistling at me? I'm right here. But so I hung a blanket up in the doorway, and my dog is real confused by it because she constantly looks at it like, how am I supposed to get out of here? So I've been teaching her to use her nose to like pull the blanket, like push the blanket out of the way so she can run outside to go to the bathroom and stuff. And every once in a while, she gets mad because she tries to push it with her nose and can't get it. So she jumps up with her claws and like rips at the blanket. So, well, heard a loud banging, and then I realized that it's more than likely the trash man because it's my trash night. It's Sunday, so Sunday nights are when my trash gets picked up. So it's probably the trash man making all kinds of noises out there. Well, guys, here's the deal, which you guys probably are starting to learn this deal by now because I do it every single night. We are currently, I also put a clock up on the wall. So instead of having to like pull my phone out or look at the computer, see what time it is, all I have to simply do is look straight up above the computer and I can see the clock. And the clock says we only have 4 minutes and about, it says 3 minutes, but the clock's a minute fast. So we have 4 minutes until 12 o'clock. And obviously the stream is supposed to only go till 12 o'clock. So we're smoking one last cigarette. And by the end of the cigarette, we're going to end this stream. I'm going to let my puppy out to go potty. And then I'm going to go inside and hopefully fall asleep because I was up really late last night too. Also, have you seen the first Zombieland movie? And then if you have seen the first Zombieland movie, have you seen the second Zombieland movie? Because why are you fussing at me? Come here. Come over here. Over this way. No, 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 no. Come around this way. Come on. Over here. Up here. Stop crying. Stop crying. Why you big baby all the time? Why? Because you're out here and I'm not throwing you the ball? You big crybaby all the time. You big crybaby all the time. Mwah. I'm not spoiling nothing. I promise you, I'm not a movie spoiler person. Or if I was, I would tell you if I was about to tell you something. But I'll be honest with you, I loved the first one. I think the second one is actually better than the first one. Very rare that happens, that the second movie is ever as good, if not better, than the first one. But the Marvel movies, to me, every single one was better than the one prior to it. But Zombieland 2 is fucking hilarious, and it's actually really good. Like, it's really good. I watched it last night, which sucked because I started at 1 in the morning and it didn't end until 3 in the morning. So by the time it was over and I finally lay down to go to sleep, it was like 3:30, and you know, it was late as fuck. But I was honestly impressed by how good the second movie was. It was it was really good. Like, it's one of those movies, but for some reason, when they said that they were going to make a second one, I naturally assumed it was going to suck. Like, the first one wasn't the best movie in the world, but it was a funny and good movie to watch. But I probably, you know, if I had to rate it on the scale of 1 to 10, I'd maybe give the first one like a 6. But the second one, I'd definitely give it probably an 8 out of 10 because it was good. It was really fucking good. And I was always tired of seeing those stupid commercials for the second movie when they would come out, where he meets that girl in the store and he shoots at her, and then he goes, "Hi, I'm Columbus," and she goes, "I'm Madison," and I fucking hated that because I hate ditzy girls. Okay, I really don't like it. Like, I'm sure there's ditzy guys out there, but I have yet to ever meet one. Thank God. But yes, all same people, but they add new people in, and the new people, like, I'm not spoiling nothing, but the new people, they aren't like new people that are in the movie forever. Like, they show up and then they leave at some point, you know? So it's just like they introduce people who come and go. And so it makes the movie a lot funner because I'm sure you've probably seen trailers for the movie, and in the trailers for the movie, they show the new people that are in it. The girl Madison, who's in the pink jumpsuit with fur on top, and she goes, "I'm so sorry, it's fake fur." She's fucking ditzy as hell, and I understand she's an actress, but it's still like, I hate ditzy girls. They drive me nuts. And then they add 2 other people in there that are like the exact same of Columbus and Tallahassee, but like they're different people. And so, like, there's moments in the movie where, like, he drives, this part's in the trailer too, but he drives his monster truck up over top of Tallahassee's car or whatever, and crushes it or whatever. And um, Bill's in the second one too, which is even funnier. Well, good night, Michael. We will be ending the stream soon anyways, so it's all good that you gotta leave now. Thank you for watching and obviously conversing with me and stuff like that. I appreciate you. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow night for a stream that I will be putting on tomorrow night. But Bill Murray actually shows up in the second movie. Now, he's obviously dead in the first movie, so like it's like a rewind. But it's one of those things where you only see Bill Murray after the movie's over. It's like when the credits start rolling, the credits go through like a minute of credits, and then it stops, and Columbus comes back in and says something about Bill Murray, and then Bill Murray shows up, and it shows when the zombie apocalypse starts, and it shows how Bill Murray survived, which is Bill Murray at the end of the second movie in the credits, and show you how he goes through and surviving to get to the point where he ends, inevitably Columbus shoots him and stuff. So it's definitely it was really good. When the movie ended, I was impressed. I was literally almost blown away by how much I enjoyed that movie. I'm probably going to watch it tonight because, fortunately, since I've already seen it, I can fall asleep to it and not be like, oh, but I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I already know everything that's going to happen, so I can fall asleep and be cool with it. Izzy, stop. No, go over here. Go. The dog is walking circles around me, and it's driving me crazy.
Come over here. Sit down. Sit down. You need to be a good girl. You need to be a good girl. Come up here. Come up here. Tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. You love me? Huh? You love me? Yes, I love you. I love you. I need you to be a good girl. I need you to sit down. I need you to sit down. Yes, you sit down. You can keep kissing me. I'm okay with that, but I need you to sit down. Put your butt down. Put that big butt down. There you go. It's a good puppy. Now you stay there. We only got like 4 minutes of the cigarette left, and I will be letting you out to go potty. But Holly, here's the thing, okay? I'm going to ask you if your profile is private. I don't know if you are or not. I'm going to ask you to be my friend on Instagram, okay? Then what I'm going to need you to do is in a private message, like, you know, like how you can message people on Instagram, I need you to send me an email address. Because if you send me an email address, I can send you the movie for free. So you can watch it. You'll obviously have to watch it on a computer or some form of device that you can like I'm sure you could probably figure it out on your phone, but it'd be more of a pain in the ass, so it'd be just easier with a computer. But if you send me your email, I can send you the movie for free. Because I have some secret awesome ties in this world that I don't talk about a lot with people because it's not really my place to talk about things like this, but I get a lot of free movies. And these movies are movies I can share with people. Like legally I can share them with people. I just, like I said, I don't really do it because I don't like making it sound like I'm bragging to people like I have free movies and I can give them away for free. Like so if you're really interested in watching it, I am more than welcome, or I'm more than happy with sending it to you through your email. You'll have to download it. I don't know exactly how size it is. I think it's like 2 gigabytes or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I can send it to you, and you can see it. And also, if anybody else is watching this, no, I'm not going to send anybody else a free movie. This is only because Holly is an OG, and I appreciate her and everything she does for this channel. So she is the one that's going to get it, and nobody else. Unless somebody else steps up and does some awesome shit for me. But you're very welcome, Holly. I'm completely okay with it. And pretty much that goes with pretty much any other movie out there. So if there's ever another movie out there that you absolutely can't get to seeing, or you don't have the money to spend on, but you really always have wanted to see it or something like that, just reach out to me through private message on Instagram. I'll hook you up. I got you. I own about shit, I don't even know. I guarantee I'm between 1,000 and 1,500 movies that I own that I'm allowed to give away to people. But like I said, I've just never really done it because I don't want my privileges to be like taken away from me. I watch a lot of movies. Like I'm up really late. I stay up extremely late at night. So when I stay up really late, I watch movies because, it's free time. Or during the day, if I'm sitting here bored, I watch movies. I got a television behind me, behind the computer. I turn the computer upside down and see that big TV that's right there behind the computer. You only got to see like literally 25% of the television screen, but it's a quite large TV that's sitting behind the computer. And when I'm out here in the garage and I'm working on stuff, like working on motorized things or cleaning and stuff like that, I've got the TV playing movies because I'm a movie fanatic. And it's also to the point where my parents play this game with me. And every time that they're inside their house watching a movie and I come inside the house, they will turn the volume up. And before I walk into the room, they ask me what the movie is because they know that I probably have seen it. And then all I have to hear is usually like 1 or 2 sentences of dialogue. And I'll right off the top of my head, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's this. And they're like, how do you know that all the time? You always know it. And the other thing that I played a game. I don't remember what the game was called now. It's a board game, but I played with my brother-in-law, my sister, and my mom and my dad, and like all my other family during Thanksgiving 2 years ago. We played this board game or whatever. And my brother-in-law is very competitive,
and he wins every single time that he plays this game, like versus my sister and or everybody else. And it's like a trivia based game. Just worked out that the trivia that we were getting was all about movies, and I kicked his ass 2 games in a row, and he was not happy. And I obviously, knowing how very competitive it was about games, I gloated, and kind of rubbed it in his face, like, I thought you were good at this game. I just kicked your ass twice, But my sister waited until my brother-in-law left the room, and my sister leaned over and was like, Matt, I have never seen him lose before. So the fact that you just beat him twice with movie trivia blew my mind. And I was just like, hey, movies and me, I know a lot. And it's like to the point where I follow stories, I follow lore, or lore is like post-video stories. So like Star Wars, I know facts about Star Wars that even if you've watched every Star Wars movie, you would never know, because these are facts that are canon to the story, but they happen outside of the movie. So like events that happen leading up to the movies or after the movies and stuff like this that are part of the story but are never explained in the movies, but analyzed. And I've seen so many movies so many times that I pay attention to what's going on in the background more than I pay attention to what's going on in the foreground. So I'm usually the person who points things out to people. Like, if you watch that movie again, but if you look in the background during this one scene, you'll see these 2 people fighting, and that's in reference to this that doesn't happen until 3 movies from now, and then people go back and watch it, and they're like, dude, I've seen this movie 20 times. I've never seen that before. And I'm like, yeah, see, it's just the way I am with movies. I overanalyze everything. It's also why I get movies for free, is because I kind of like rate movies and do kind of like movie what do you call that? I don't know what you call it. Whatever. I'm just a review. I review movies. That's it. So that's why a lot of times I get free movies, is because people want me to review them, and so Yes, thank you, Holly. We have this weird connection, and usually by the time that you're typing it to send it to me, I come up with the word, because we had this happen another night, and I thought it was funny, and then it's funny now that literally I said reviewed the same time that you sent me the word review. But yeah, so I'll review movies, and so a lot of times companies reach out to me and give me movies for free because they want me to watch them, to review them, and I usually don't post stuff like that on YouTube, though, because it's more on like I have to write papers about it, so I don't really converse it. I posted a few of them from back in the past when I've gone to movie theaters and watched movies in theaters and stuff. I've come out of the theaters and given my 2 cents about movies and stuff, but that's my life in a nutshell. Movies and video games, my 2 favorite pastimes. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm an outside person, so if I can be outside doing something, I'm going to much rather be outside doing something, hanging out with friends, riding dirt bikes, 4-wheelers, having a good time, whatever, stuff like that. But if I'm going to be stuck inside, which Ohio gives us half a year where we're stuck inside, obviously I spend that time playing video games and watching movies. But the cigarette is officially done, which means my stream is officially done, and we're currently sitting at 12:15, so it took me like 20 minutes to smoke that cigarette because I've been blah, 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 blah. Are you talking you're talking about ARC, but it's spelled ARK and not ARC, but it's fine. I know you're not a super enthusiast, but yes, I've played lots of ARC. Dinosaur survival, where you get to build houses, tame dinosaurs, ride them, do all kinds of awesome stuff. Yes, I've played that game quite a lot, and I'm also currently trying to get Mike and Rachel to play that game with me because they have Xbox Game Pass, which you can get that game for free through Xbox Game Pass. And so I try to tell Mike and Rachel to download it all the time because we all like to play Minecraft together, and Minecraft's just a simple build and kill zombies and stuff. Yeah, isn't it really cool though? I mean, like, yeah, I'm into survival games to begin with. Like, I like games where you have to build stuff, survive, and stuff like that. So then when you throw the whole dynasty of the fact that there's dinosaurs and you can tame them and you can ride them and you can you can get dinosaurs to fight for you and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it's definitely an up my alley game. So um, I'm assuming that Robbie probably plays that. I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming if you watched it, you were probably watching him play it or something like that. But it seems like if um don't apologize extremely well, because you've from what you've already explained to me about him and told me the kind of man that he is, and that me and him are very similar on the way we think about things, and the fact of now that he apparently likes all the video games that I play. I have the feeling that me and Robbie would get along really well with each other. Maybe one day we could play video games together. Maybe I could even record it, and then Robbie could start being a guest star on my YouTube channel for gaming. How amazing would that be? I think it's pretty amazing. But Holly, I gotta go because I am tired. I'm not really tired. Obviously, from the way I'm flapping my mouth, you probably wouldn't assume I'm tired, but I'm a little tired. Tired enough where I just want to go and lay in bed and spend the next 2 or 3 hours just watching something, or not sitting out in the cold, freezing my ass off, and talking. Because even though I do like to talk, and I sure do talk a lot, henceforth the name of Matthew Talks a Lot Freeman. I it takes a lot out of me to talk all the time. So it's kind of nice to be able to sit in silence and not talk, because I kind of get annoyed by the sound of my own voice, if that makes sense, because I talk a lot and I talk to myself a lot. So obviously even though I'm not out loud talking, my voice is still going around in my head talking to myself. And sometimes I'm even like, Matt, just shut up. Like, stop talking to yourself. What you doing? Come over here. But good night, Holly. I hope you have a good night. Come up here. Come on. Come on. Get your big butt up here. Come on. Come on. There you go. You got it? There you go. My puppy wanted to say goodbye. My puppy says good night. She's like, I need him to stop streaming so I can go outside, go potty, and then I could go back to bed. Look at her eyes. They're so squinty. She's so tired. So tired, huh? You tired puppies, huh? I love you. I love you. I wish my dog was a cuddle dog, because I totally cuddle with her in bed, and use her warmth and her cuteness and just cuddle with her at night. But she's not a cuddle dog. I mean, you can see how she's letting me hold her like this right now, but you can also now see where she's trying to pull away, because she's like, stop, that's enough. Don't hold me. I don't like it when you hold me all the time. She's not a cuddle dog, which is whatever. I just kind of wish she was sometimes. But hey, Holly says good night, puppies. She says good night. She gave me kisses. So those are kisses to you, obviously. But I was obviously the recipient of it, because she can't give you kisses. So just know that my dog would have given you kisses for saying good night, and she obviously says good night to you as well. And I will see you tomorrow for either a live stream of cutting my hair, or just a live stream at night in which I might cut my hair. Regardless, I'm going to be cutting my hair very soon. And we'll have all kinds of fun in the sun together. Okay, I'm leaving. I'm just going to sit here and constantly keep talking if I don't leave. So I've just got to end it. So good night, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you could leave a like on the video. If you already are subscribed, you could subscribe to the video. And then next time you will see more streams like this. And if you hit the bell icon, which I never tell people to do, but if you hit the bell icon, apparently it notifies you whenever I go live. So instead of just having to look at 10 o'clock and be like, is he live streaming? It would physically send you a notification on your phone that says, guess what? Matt Freeman is currently live streaming. And then it just makes it 10 times easier for you to be there for when I'm live streaming and all that exciting stuff. So thank you, everybody. My dog's making a fucking mess, so now I got to go and clean that up. I love her, but God, she can be annoying sometimes. Okay, bye. What, now somebody shows up at the last minute. I'm literally ending my stream, and my number goes from 2 people watching to now 3 people watching. So I appreciate you. Thank you, kind person, for showing up literally as I'm ending the stream. But I can't stay just for you. I have to go. It's been way too long already. We're going on literally almost 2.5 hours. Actually, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes, but close enough. I could just sit here and keep talking. Hey, they left, so now I can leave. Okay, bye.